How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ace, and today we are checking out the Beatles, A Day in the Life. So this is kind of like a redo reaction. This is kind of the first time I've ever done one of these. When I reacted to this last year, it was more of a reaction to the video itself, and there was just so much happening between the song and the video, we ended up just focusing on one thing. But I wanted to go back after getting some both constructive and not so constructive criticism. Some of it was warranted and some of it was, well, it was a little rude. But that's okay. This time we're going to do an audio only. This is also the first time I've ever done a reaction to an audio only for a reaction, so I'm interested to see how this goes. And a few weeks ago, I did watch one of the videos about the brief history on the Beatles. I learned quite a few things, like they had a bunch of #1 albums. They released some of them out of order in the States, and I don't know why that was. I don't know. I don't remember if that was said in there or if that was just a mystery. I can't really remember that one. They also released a few movies. Some of them did well, and some of them, if I remember right, didn't do as well. This song, A Day in the Life, is off Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which is one of the greatest albums of all time. It's on a lot of people's greatest albums of all time list. And by the time this album came out, they were already doing drugs like LSD, which started because somebody slipped it in George and John's drinks without them knowing. And this album came out before they went to India, which from what I understand is where pretty much all the tension started with the band. So I do have a question though. If no one had slipped them LSD and if they had never gone to India, would they still have been together? Would their music still sound the same or would it be different? So there are some questions that I have, and I'm kind of wondering, like which way they would go. So yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. So I say we go ahead and get started. But before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's cool. It's free. It tells me I'm doing the right thing, going in the right direction, all those good things. Don't forget to check out the description of the video as well. There's a lot of cool things in there. All my socials are in there. You can go over there and say hi. Hello. If you're interested in supporting the channel and getting a priority request in, you can check out the Buy Me a Coffee link. The link to the video we're reacting to is also in there. And without further ado, the Beatles, A Day in the Life. Here we go.
I read the news today, oh boy, about a lucky man who made the grade. And though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh. I saw the photograph. He blew his mind out in a car. He didn't notice that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared. They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the House of Lords. I saw a film today, oh boy. The English army had just won the war. A crowd of people turned away, but I just had to look, having read the book. I'd love to turn you
So listening to the song and reading over the lyrics while this is happening, like the music itself, especially during the verses, like it just has this like happier like melody over some like not so happy events. Like John wrote the majority of the song, and then from what I understand, Paul wrote the next part that we're gonna listen to after the first glissando, which is basically the orchestra just came in after the verses, and it just like kept building up, and it just became more and more kind of extreme to is what it feels like to me, where it feels just kind of like chaotic, and it's just building up more and more. And I had to look up what a glissando was, and it's a glide from one pitch to another, which wasn't really done during this time. Which, like I said, it just sounds like all the instruments are crescendoing together, and it's just becoming more and more intense, and then it just breaks off into the next part. But looking over the lyrics for the parts that we've checked out so far, where it talks about, and though the news was rather sad, he blew his mind out in a car. They're singing about a friend of the band, Tara Brown, who was the heir to the Guinness fortune, which I did have to double check just to make sure, but it is Guinness beer, not Guinness Book of World Records. Those are just two completely different entities that just coincidentally share the same name. But it says he didn't notice that the lights had changed, which signifies that he was in a car wreck. And like everybody was looking and staring, they think he looks familiar, and I mean that's why nobody was really sure if he was from the House of Lords, which the Guinness fortune. And then the next part, I saw a film today. John was in a film called How I Won the War, which goes on to the English army had just won the war. And something I just learned about this song. So John is singing during the first part, Paul is going to sing during the next part, and then I guess it's going to go back to John after that. It looks like Paul was playing piano and bass guitar for this. Ringo was also playing drums, and it says congas. George was just playing the maracas during this, or at least that's what it says right here. So I thought that was kind of interesting. He didn't play any other instruments during this. But yeah, the song is fantastic. I'm enjoying it. I definitely want to check out the rest of this. I said we go ahead and get back to it. So here we go.
Woke up, fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head. Found my way downstairs and drank a cup. And looking up, I noticed I was late. Found my coat and grabbed my hat. Made the bus in seconds flat. Found my way upstairs and had a smoke. And somebody spoke and I went into a dream.
Should we never keep it any other way?
So during the middle part that Paul is singing, it just like during that portion, going from what John was singing to what Paul is singing, it just sounds like two completely different songs. And even with the instruments, it even sounds more like uplifting and more happy with the melody that is happening while Paul's singing. And if I had to guess, it's just to kind of break up the sadder portions of the song, the sad news and everything. And it's just more upbeat about somebody getting ready for their day. And then it goes into the rest of the song where John was talking about a newspaper article about potholes and in Lancashire. And then after that, we had another glissando where everything was just building up, and it was still keeping a constant beat, I noticed as well. And then there was just a slight pause, and then the slam on the piano, which from what I understand is the longest note on record. It's supposed to be about 40 seconds or maybe a little over 40 seconds. There was a bit of a fade out for this, so I don't know if that kind of gets taken into consideration, or if there is a version without a fade out. That would be interesting to know as well. The version we listened to was the remastered 2009 edition is what it says on here. So I don't know if like the original has no fade out or what. There was also something at the end that I don't remember checking out in the video that we checked out before, but it was like, it said something like never could see any other way, or goosey, or something like that. It was it was a little hard to make out, but it sounded like it was like on a turntable, like it was a record, and it kind of sounded like it got scratched and it was stuck in that little portion, and it just kept repeating. And there was some like chaos happening with the noise as well for that. So I don't know what the significance of that, or if that was leading into another song. I don't really know. But I also learned that the glissando and that 40-second note was actually the inspiration for that audio sound that THX Studios use in the film credits. So I thought that was a really cool thing to learn as well. But yeah, it's a fantastic song. I'm glad I was able to go back and like analyze it a little more in depth and learn a lot more about it. And hopefully I did this like way more justice than I did the first time. So yeah, the Beatles. If y'all have any suggestions or anything I should know about, definitely drop those in the comments below. Would love to check those out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's cool. It's free. It tells me I'm doing the right thing, going in the right direction, all those good things. Don't forget to check out the description of the video as well. There's a lot of cool things in there. All my socials are in there. You can go over there and say hi. Hello. The release schedule. I always drop on the socials a couple days early, so if you would like a sneak peek as to what's coming out the following week, that's the best way to do that. If you're interested in supporting the channel and getting a priority request in, you can check out the Buy Me a Coffee link. Each request is only $5 and it helps me out a bunch. The link to the video we reacted to is also in there. And if you made it to the end of the video, comment #redo. I think that's it for this reaction. I'll check you out on the next one. Bye, guys.